Ladies and gentlemen, today we'll be talking about follower ads and why they do not work. Do not use follower ads. There's two types of you guys, right? Those of you guys who are doing follower ads, you are either getting a 70% to an 80% unqualified unqualified leads, right? Most of you guys, when you speak to leads, they don't want to buy from you because they don't have the money. Or some of you guys, which I'll go on to addressing later, actually got it to work. I know one guy, Luis Philippe, he is a fitness coach and he got a 200x ROAS. I got off the phone with him yesterday on his follower ads. However, I'm going to show you why follower ads are not a sustainable long term strategy and why, if you're being taught this, just get rid of your mentor and hire someone who knows what they're doing or just run a different funnel ad instead. Okay, so follower ads, why they don't work. First of all, you guys probably are aware, make myself smaller, you guys probably are aware that with follower ads, you are ultimately doing a lot of manual speaking. Okay? Now, the problem with manually speaking to every single person that goes through your social funnel or whatever you want to call it. The reason why this doesn't work is because Meta, when you are running follower ads, they are optimizing for cheap followers, right? They are optimizing for cheap followers. What that means, I can't switch to the red. What that means is that Meta is not optimizing to get qualified leads for you. Okay, so you're just gonna get a whole bunch of followers that may be interested in what you talk about, but they ultimately are never gonna buy from you, and you are stuck grinding in your DMs trying to get followers. And yes, people do teach you should get an appointment setter. However, why would you want to go through the process of hiring an appointment setter, especially if you're new, or if you are experienced? Why would you want an appointment setter to sit in your DMs and give them the login to your Instagram? Why would you do that, right? And this this whole notion of running follower ads is just so stupid to me because I've tested it not once. I've tested this at least 3 to 5 times, and every single time they have not worked. Every single time this gets ran on my Instagram, on my meta ads, even if I use retargeting ads, even if I get back to leads within 60 seconds, nothing ever works. Follower ads absolutely suck, right? Especially if you are B2B, right? If you are running B2B follower ads, they don't work, right? And before you say, oh, I know a coach that does follower ads, we're thinking of the same person. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why that coach's offer scaled so high. They had a fire appointment setter. If you are running follower ads, let me tell you what it actually takes to scale past 100K a month, right? And this is like one time, it's not even going to be consistent. Your appointment setter needs to reach out to leads within 60 seconds of them interacting, right? And they need to reach out to every single follower, every single like, comment. They need to reach out to old interactions, and new convos, right? They need to revive dead leads. Why would anyone in their right mind do this? And by the way, this requires 12-hour days as an appointment setter. And if you're setting yourself, no more marketing for you. You're just going to start doing appointment setting for 12-hour days, right? 12 hours every single day is what it takes, right? You do not want to do this. This is not great. This is not good business, right? And let me tell you something. Every single person doing consistent, because the number that you should be going for is consistent, right? Consistent revenue months. Every single person doing consistent revenue months, like, and I'm talking 100K months. Nobody is running a follower ad as their main source of like client acquisition. Nobody is doing it at all. Okay, and if you let me go a little bit further, if you strictly rely on follower ads, you probably don't know what a meta pixel is. This is hyper important for your tracking. And what a metapixel is, everyone should be using this. I remember when I did not use a metapixel, my cost per book call, let me show you, let me write it down in big and red. My cost per booked call was not even 1,500. It was $2,000. Right? That is extremely high. For you guys who are running follower ads, maybe yours is slightly lower. Maybe your cost per book call is like I don't know. If you're lucky, like $100 to $200. This is still annoying because you're manually reaching out to people and you have staff working for you. You don't want any of these things, right? A metapixel, what that does for you, it's a piece of code that you. It's a piece of code, not even to embed on sites or like tools that you use, right? And this piece of code, it tracks every single person who's come from Meta on each part of your site or each part of your tool. So what that looks like in real life is, let's say you're doing a VSL funnel, which is, even though I don't really recommend this too tough, but it's way better. I made my first 25k doing this, by the way, my first 10k and 25k doing this. With a VSL funnel, you have a landing page, you have a very basic like booking page, so book call page, and then you have a thank you page, right? And what will happen is you're going to have one metapixel, so I'm going to call it MP, metapixel 1. In fact, to make it easier, you'll have pixel 1 here, you'll have pixel 2 here, and then you'll have pixel 3 over here. And what that does, for every single person that moves through your funnel, Meta will pick up the exact type of people that are actually clicking on your ad and only optimize for those people. It will optimize for the exact type of people that are booking in calls, and it will see the exact type of people that are actually scheduling calls. And this is the thing. You want to optimize for people who are scheduling calls, so schedules. That's what you want to optimize for. But you can't do that if you're optimizing for getting the cheapest follower, which is going to end up being an unqualified lead. If you're a B2B guy, for example, like if you have a B2B offer, what's going to happen is like you only want to speak to people that are not poor. Because obviously a B2B is slightly more expensive, like offers, you make more money. You don't want to speak to poor people. However, if you have a business offer and you're running ads to it, you're going to speak to a lot of poor business owners, which are just annoying to talk to, which is so, like, sorry if that offends you, but it's true. You don't want to speak to poor people, like poor mindset people especially, right? And you can't not help but speak to poor people if you are running follower ads. This is why optimizing for schedules is hyper mega important. Like, please get that into your head. Optimizing for booked calls is hyper important. You can only do that by using a pixel, using a metapixel. You can't use a metapixel on a normal follower ad or an Instagram DM ad or like whatever stupid thing that these coaches are trying to sell you on. You need to embed pixels. Okay? Now, if you are B2C, right, you may be thinking, oh, I'm B2C, right? I don't sell to businesses, right? So am I okay with follower ads? No, you're still not okay with follower ads. Even if you're B2C, I was speaking to this guy. He's like a physio for like back, people that have back problems. Dude, he speaks like 80% of the people he speaks to are like they don't have the money to pay for his service. So his ads are optimizing for these poor people. If he just used a simple VSL funnel, which would be so much better. However, I still also don't recommend it completely. You need to have retargeting. You need to have like reaching out to people that are qualified. Emphasis on the qualified. Only put your effort towards qualified people, right? This is why DM follower ads don't work. You don't want to be putting your effort trying to talk to people over DMs that have no money, right? Anyway, I digress. B2C offer, right? Your meta ad is optimizing for people that are poor because 80% of the people coming in are poor, and you're getting on sales calls with people who are like, oh no, that's too expensive, and they don't want to buy from you. What you want to do instead is you want to do your B2C offer, but you want to do it to like maybe like your first option would be a VSL, right? And you want to be at every stage of your marketing and sales process, qualify everyone at all times, right? And there's ways to qualify people without you putting in extreme amounts of effort, but qualify these people and make sure you have a meta pixel setup. Set up the pixel, right? Set up the pixel at each stage so that your pixel over time only optimizes for qualified prospects, right? If you do not optimize for qualified prospects, I'm so sorry to tell you that this business stuff is not going to be fun. Okay? Please, for the love of God, stop running follower ads. Just stop, right? And for those of you guys who are watching, there's a small portion of you who, without an appointment setter that was going crazy for you, was actually printing. Like you guys, I know someone, again, Luis Philippe, fitness coach, extremely dope guy. He had a 200x return on ad spend. Right? Luis Philippe had a 200x return on ad spend using follower ads. But let me tell you something. I can guarantee that if you are this person with a 200x return on ad spend, client results are not going to look good at all. Right? Client results for you are like non-existent. It's just completely not going to work. And I'll tell you why, right? Let me explain the science behind this. The reason you got follower ads to work for your B2B or B2C offer is, let's say this is the market of let's say this is the market of B2B people in my perfect circle, right? B2B, right? Everybody knows what follower ads are, except a very small portion of the market. And let's say this is a small portion of the market, right? This portion of the market is not sophisticated. Okay, these guys are just not sophisticated buyers. They haven't even heard of ads before. So yes, selling follower ads or running follower ads to this slither of the marketplace, like yes, this could work. This sliver of the marketplace, yeah, absolutely. You could run ads to them. You could make it work. See a 200x ROI, like return on ad spend. But I can guarantee, long term, you're going to face a total addressable market issue. What this means is that you're going to deplete the market that you have, and then you're going to be stuck as to why it hasn't been working, which is not great, because this market is not going to make you crazy money. Like maybe you get to like 50 to 100k perhaps, but your client results are going to tank because they're not going to be able to identify this sliver of the market that you might have gotten lucky with. And no client results, no testimonials, no future sales, and because you haven't got the skills, i.e. using a meta pixel, you're not going to be able to expand out to all of this market that you're missing. Does that make sense? So you really do not want to be doing follower ads. It just doesn't work at scale, right? Anyone doing over 100k per month consistently, 200k per month consistently, $3 million per month consistently, no one is running a follower ad at all. The guys you see that are teaching follower ads, they are just lying. I can guarantee they don't make past 100k a month because they have follower ads going. Just do the right thing and set your business up from the start and have, at the very least, at the bare bones minimum, have a VSL funnel. This will mean that you have more time more time for marketing, right? You spend less time on shitty leads, and you collect contact information. So you have contact info, excuse my handwriting, to remarket to them over time. So you literally make more money long term using a VSL funnel. And the best thing is with a VSL funnel is that you actually have a pixel that's optimizing for you, that piece of code that you need. It's optimizing for schedules. And remember, the people that book in calls with you through a VSL funnel, they're not idiots. Most of them are in an absurd amount of pain, right? Which means they are actually easier to sell. Especially if you have the correct nurture in place to make sure that you sell to these guys. Okay? Please, for the love of God, stop doing DM Instagram follower ads to like DM. Just stop all of it. Even if you got it working and you were lucky enough to get to this sliver of the marketplace, I can guarantee that this is not going to be sustainable for you for the future. Can completely guarantee it. You won't get client results, and you will not be able to fix the TAM issue that you will end up getting naturally. Okay? If you're doing follower ads for B2B, please just forget it. It's not going to work. Okay? If you guys want to know the actual ad strategy that you need, I break it down in this big 55-minute free masterclass on how I will be scaling to 350k per month in my consultancy business with some done for you in there as well. Check that video out. It breaks down the exact offers, how to craft them out, how to test ads, how to structure your ads, making sure that everyone's being warmed up. I literally break everything down. So go check that video out. Peace and love. I love you guys so much. Enjoy, and let's get rich together.